Mr. Leroy, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're also charged with reckless driving. On the DWI, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. On your other case, you're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you have afford one will be appointed to you.
November 3rd, 2024, officers observed defendant's motor vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed, 105 miles per hour, making unsafe lane changes coming out of several of the vehicles and driving through narrow two-lane construction zones and on the San Francisco Tollway. The officer was able to catch up with the defendant and initiate a traffic stop. Officer made contact with the driver and observed mild odor of alcoholic beverage, red bloodshot eyes, and sleep sway. Officer observed a brown bottle of alcoholic beverage in the passenger seat open and half empty. SFSD is administered. HGN 4 out of 6, clock returned 4 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. Defendant denied drinking anything, ignorant to alcohol consumed 1 beer. DICs were read and records refused. Blood served 1 to 8 minutes.
Are you telling me that he's going through a construction zone?
That's what I have here, Judge. Everything else.
Any prior DWIs? Mind checking? Or any kind of other reckless driving?
I don't think or anything that has to do with driving.
Okay, pause. Did you catch that? Mr. Leroy is clocked at 105 miles per hour through a construction zone. That's not just speeding. That's basically qualifying for a demolition derby. And yes, this matters legally. Reckless driving plus intoxication. That combo could send him spinning straight into jail.
On the record.
There's a lot of construction on the tollway. If you're going that fast, probably pass through it, rather
You're
quickly.
supposed to slow down at an extreme slow pace when you're extremely slow pace when you're going through a construction zone. Mr. Leroy, I'm going to find that there's a problem caused to the case, and I'm now taking away your right to drive. You're not allowed to drive at all. Do you understand that you will be signing an affidavit? Now, you take it seriously. If not, you'll be facing 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. And I don't care what your excuse is. Mother Teresa needs a right attorney. You come down, we will have a hearing, facing 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or legal drugs. You would find that you're consuming alcohol and it's open. Likewise, you would go to jail. You will not get more PR points. Do you understand this? These are 2 different affidavits that have to be signed. So if I find that you're driving, I don't care what it's for, I will have 2 contempt hearings every time you drive. You have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Aiello and you have to come back to court. If he comes back and tells me he can't get a hold of you, you pick up a new case. You violate conditions, I will put you in jail and not get more PR points. Do you understand? Okay. All right, we'll have you go.
Thanks.
All right, you are Eric Matthew Mack. Mr. Mack, you're charged with criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine. You're also charged with interference to the duties of a public servant. On both of those, you're facing up to 6 months in jail. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, it will be able to use you.
On October 30th, 2024, officers were patrolling an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas that is known to have a high amount of crime. Officers are familiar with the property manager who has complained about trespassers in the past. There were multiple no trespassing, no loitering signs throughout the apartment complex. Officer observed the defendant walking around the apartment complex wearing a hoodie with a hood up and a mask covering his whole face and holding an unknown object in his pocket. Officer asked if the defendant lived in the complex, and the defendant did not answer. Officers believe that crime was afoot as the defendant refused to remove his hands from his pocket. Officers attempted to Terry frisk the defendant for any weapons. The defendant refused to be patted down for weapons. Officers attempted to detain him for criminal trespass investigation. He refused to be placed in handcuffs. He resisted to be placed in handcuffs, and it took 4 minutes. It took 4 deputies to detain him as he kept pulling away and moving his hands away from each other. It was determined that the defendant did not reside at the
Mr. Mack, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to report the case. How old are you, sir? What do you do for a living? Why not? Sorry? I can't hear you. There's so many people that are hiring, it's ridiculous. Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what's the next move in your life? You're 21, you ain't got no job. What are you doing?
Yes, sir.
That would be a great idea. Holy moly, that
Here's the moment where the judge's jaw just about hits the bench. That 105 in a construction zone line is the tipping point. Watch how the tone shifts. It's no longer about citations. It's about public safety, and the court is now done playing.
awesome. Really. That will give you structure, it'll give you discipline, and it'll give you a job. That would be a fantastic jobless, no prospects, no future at 21. It's not going to bode well. So, I'll appoint you lawyer today, but it's one of the two things. Great idea for one of the military. If not, you must get a job and make it a condition of your bond. Do you understand? You cannot just smoke weed and play Xbox and do nothing all day without knowing what in the future. It's not going to happen. So, two things. I don't want you going back to this location, and I don't want you to have any weapons. Do you understand?
Sir.
I'll have you fill out an application. I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you've done to get a job. If you've done nothing, it's not going to go well. Do you understand, Mr. Mack? You've got to do something with your money, because if not, you're going to be hunchless, just on the side of the road, begging for money without a prospect. That's not a good way to go to life. You understand? All right, come on, Stephen, I'll give you an application. Sign up, reset with Mona, and then we'll have you give us the attorneys. Okay, sorry to keep you waiting. Good morning, sir.
I know.
Shh.
So, here's one out of Harris County, assuming the worthless check. Assuming this correlates to like the shooting in Texas. And so I would be asking for bonds so I can go to Louisiana and take care of this business out there. And
So, he's on felony probation for a false statement obtaining credit. Picks up a DWI second. Now he's got this case.
right, I've told him what that DWI might do with his probation.
Insufficient.
Don't say anything about the DWI because you're on felony probation for a very serious 10-year probation. Picked up a new case, and now you have another case. I mean, really.
I had no idea about the case in Louisiana, sir. I had just worked at the Army base in Killeen. I was working for Bobtail Crane. And when they exported us into the military base, nothing popped up about Georgia or anything like that. I had no clue about this. If I would have known about this, I could have easily taken care of this whatsoever.
The problem is that stuff keeps happening. When do we say that?
Sir, like I said in the case for the DWI, I was not drunk. I was on my way to work.
So don't. Now's not the time to find your case. I'm not wrong with you. It's just stuff keeps happening.
Yes, sir.
State's asking for no bond. In addition to federal probation
Shh.
right now.
Oh, he's on federal probation?
I'm sorry. I thought you 3-year probation that he's on right now. Out of 2022. He also had a record with the Montgomery County that was DC. He also had another case for tampering on the permit record of being had an evading of a motor vehicle felony that was reduced to a lesser evading to 351st 2007. He's also had a couple of death arrests that dismissals. He's also on a WI second year
What pen trips you got? 2?
Sir,
How many times you been to the pen?
it was just one time, sir. It was just
You're
one
saying how many times have you been to the pen trips? Amy?
I'm saying at least 2 here,
time. No,
one in 2008 and another in 2003.
it was only one time.
Here's the thing. If you have 2 pen trips, you're what's labeled as your habitual. Anytime you pick up a serious felony, you're looking at 25 to life. So when you're out there in the free world, you have to be extra special good. If not, you could be looking at a minimum of 25 years to life.
Yes, sir.
No? I'm just giving you facts.
Judge, if I could argue for my client a little bit, he does have a history. He does have a history. The issue here is he's got this DWI, his name on that, he's got on there. He is on deferred as well for May 5th. I don't show a court date here. I don't see anything happening there as of yet. The only thing he's here in front of you right now is for issuing a worthless check out of his hand. This is something that can easily be taken care of possibly by paying something even from here. If not, he's going to go to Caddo Parish and avail himself to that parish and figure that out. It's not a serious case. He does have history. He was not, when he tells me he was unaware that this popped up. I don't know when this actual case was issued, when it was presented, when it was filed.
Is this a new case? This is an old case.
It was issued on October 31st. Dolphin States.
Of this year, October 31st of this year.
The warrant was issued.
I'm sorry,
this year.
24?
Yes.
Hugh, Mr. Mack just got served some hard truth. No job, no direction. The judge practically writes the kid a life plan on the spot. But here's the kicker. He ties it directly to bond conditions. So now it's not just about showing up to court, it's about showing up to adulthood.
The warrant was issued this year. Dolphin States. Last year.
October 31st of this year.
They issued the warrant on October of 20, but the actual alleged offense date is
Last year.
23.
So less than a month, Judge. He's been in Texas recently.
My problem and my concern are 2 things, Mr. Peters. Number 1, are you a danger? Number 2 is you've got a lot of theft cases, and theft cases where other people are involved. So if I say to a bond, is it someone else's money that's going to pay you to get out? You know, you've got a false statement to take credit. You've got a bunch of theft cases. Now you've got another theft case out of Louisiana. So is it someone else's money that's paying for you to get out? And then when we get you out, are you still a danger to the community? You know what I mean? Perception is a reality, Mr. Peters. And your record speaks for itself.
Can I say something, Mr. Fisher?
Just don't talk about no cases.
I'm not talking about the cases. We all have a past. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Fisher? What's been awesome has happened. But at the end of the day, I have changed my life and turned myself around. Since all of those things that you have talked about, I have life insurance. I have been doing right by the people. I have custody of my 11-year-old son that I am being an example of what I should have been. I have done everything I'm supposed to do in this position. I'm not out here causing chaos and controversy about anything out here in society. I speak at the local church.
PWI 2 days ago, a second PWI. You're on the felony work and you got it in each case.
Mr. Fisher, that was, again, I was not under the influence. I had just got out of work and not to the way. That's when that transpired. I told the officer that I did not have anything to do with the drink. He said, because your eyes were red. That does not solidify the answer. So I was tired. I just worked 16 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
How much is the value of the check?
It's 511. It's under 1,000.
Judge, he hasn't made a mistake in your court. We're just asking.
My concern with part of where is he getting the money from it.
Well, Judge, I know you're speculating that he needs the public's money, but he also needs his money. I mean, he works, he's been working for 5 years, he's got a CDL, he worked for Superstar Logistics for 5 years before working for Bobcat Green, so he's been gainfully employed. It could easily be his money. I mean, there's nothing to say that it's the public's money or anything like that. He's got a history, but he's got no history with you. And so, that being the case, I would ask that he be allowed to make this right. If he messes up at that point, you're going to be safe. But at this point, he hasn't messed up.
As opposed to a bond? What if we set a
Reiterate
high?
that.
What if we set a high bond? No, I mean it's going to be a couple thousand. No, it's going to be 5,000 to 10,000.
They're stopping, but our position is the bond.
You know, the problem is this: is that you're an inherent flight risk. So if I set you a bond, you're going to have to pony up all that kind of money to get it. This is no 10% fee. You're a fugitive case, man. So when we set you a bond, you have to proceed its entirety. No 10%, no 20%. Just because of everything that you have over, you're an inherent flight risks. You got to be aware of it. So if I do set you a bond, it's going to be at least 5,000, 7,500.
There's no way possible that I can, if it's 100% of that bond, there's no way possible that I can do that, man. I mean, I'm trying everything in my power. Got a good job and everything else like that. I'm just
See this,
but this is just
Question for the comments. Should a judge mandate employment or even recommend military service as a condition of bond? Is that overreach or a real-world intervention? Drop your take below, because this one straddles law and life advice.
it's not all bad news because you're not wanted out of like Wyoming, Montana, Alaska, Louisiana. We have so many people in Louisiana. We have buses coming twice a week to pick up people to take them back to Louisiana. We really have. It's incredible the amount of people we have. So around 2 times a week, we have people shuffling in and out of Louisiana. What I would say is you should save your money and use that to hire a lawyer in Louisiana to fight your case. Because I'm telling you, has he waived yet?
Yes. Listen,
You'll be out of here within the next 2 to 3 days if you keep your weight.
If I may reiterate something, we're at November 7th. I'm still confused whether this was issued on the 4th or the 31st. Either way, it's less than, even if it was the 24th, we're talking less than 2 weeks because the warrant has been open. He's got no knowledge of this. All of a sudden, 14 days in custody with something that just popped up. He's in Texas working. I don't even know when the last time he was in Louisiana. This has been less than a month. He could have had notice this was even present. They don't call him and tell him, hey, you got a warrant out. It's completely plausible that he didn't know that this was open. It hasn't been sitting for a year. It's been sitting for less than 2 weeks.
the offense is for 23, so it would have been
The offense date, but when was the warrant issued?
October of this
October 24th or 31st?
October 2020.
Okay, so we're at November 7th. Less than 2 weeks. Okay. I'm saying he had no notice that there was a warrant issued. He didn't know that, okay? He didn't know the case was open. I don't know the last time he was in Louisiana. He hasn't been able to make this right. Nobody saying he didn't have notice of this. A warrant is open.
I mean, I understand your argument, right? But it's still going to set the bond. Once a bond, I'm going to set it at a minimum of 500 to 7,500, and then you're going to probably have to pay, assume a good amount of that. That's just the nature of the beast when it comes to fugitive cases, right? But like I said, if you keep your way from it, chances are within the next 2 to 3 days you'll be out of your funds. You need to make the decision, but it's a matter of paying a ton of money to get out. And you could also save that money and hire yourself a lawyer.
Judge, one last thing. So we're talking about 100%. We're talking about
I don't know for sure. I'm just speculating. I've never been in the bond business, so I have no
that's my
idea.
understanding as well that it's going to be.
And he's got a laundry list of priors. got two open cases here. He's got a fugitive case out of another state. Most probably a body company is going to want quite a bit of jack up front because you're a flight risk. You know, not only that, you're on a PR bond with the DWI second that they gave you. If you get held up there, it's very possible they revoke your bond with the DWI second. And then the position you are here, you're going to be in the exact same position over there.
That's what I'm saying,
You know
y'all.
what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, y'all. I'm trying to get out there and make it clear so that I can handle
You know
everything.
that you're trying to get it. My job is to protect the humans, protect the community.
Just watch your cases.
Sorry, got a day coming.
All right.
Mr. Kim.
Hi, Judge. Are we
Hey,
still
dude.
punching on Peters?
Yeah, he's in front of us now.
Okay. I'm playing catch up, but Amy told me that you were considering a bond regarding this defendant.
Yes.
So, I have strong objections to.
Okay, deep breath. Mr. Peters' rap sheet reads like a legal thriller. Multiple pen trips, deferred adjudication, a second DWI, and now a fugitive warrant from Louisiana. This isn't just about a bad check anymore. This is a credibility collapse in real time.
A bond being granted to for this fugitive case. I don't know if Amy has already played it. I don't know if you're familiar, but I was actually the prosecutor that put him on the deferred in the 185th. It was a PSI, and I was the prosecutor assigned to the case. And the 185th, when Judge Holmes is still on the bench, is that he put him on a deferred, but he also had jails vested in the condition of his probation because they were concerned with how many deaths he had along with the death groups. The reason why that's pertinent here is because what he's wanted for is issuing worthless checks issued on October 31st, 2024. On top of that, he's violated that deferred by committing another DWI second along with a Conroe charge. And so
He has a charge in Conroe as well?
it's finished now, but after for the judge. It was two. Oh no, sorry, I was thinking that was my mistake. It was old. But that still doesn't take away from the other arguments presented. It's the same type of offense. Less than 3 years after it was put on the deferred, in addition to the second violation in county, which the court can see, and that was as recent as 2 days ago.
Has the court given you any kind of guidance as to what they're going to do? You know? I mean, I don't see.
Well, I mean, I haven't heard anything from the 185th because this fugitive case warrant was issued out on October 31st. There's nothing to say that the 185th will revoke is deferred for the violation. So, on top of the DWI setback, to say nothing of the fact that there are obviously technicals because there is a positive for alcohol. So, it's a combination of things that even if the court grants a bond here, if they revoke or file a motion, the prosecutor from 185th file a motion to revoke, it's going to be without a bond there anyway.
Judge, two things. If it is 100%, we're talking about $5,000. That would be a $50,000 bond on a worthless check case out of Louisiana.
You have so many variables here that are playing this role, Mr. Peters, that you could literally pay $5,000 to get out now, and then they issue a felony warrant tomorrow in your probation case that would literally be throwing $5,000 down the drain. I would be very careful. I mean, I don't know how much money you have. I don't have much money, but if you have just enough money to throw $5,000 away, I would be very careful. It's like I'm telling you, they could any day now file a motion to revoke your probation. The felony warrant's going to issue, and then all the money that you are putting into this is just it's out the tubes. It's out the window.
Your Honor, I have to at least say my job so that I can do what I need to do to fight that DWI case. Nevertheless, I'm an innocent man until I'm guilty. So whatever crimes I have done in the past, I paid my time for that. I had did that when I was a younger man. I'm no longer that younger man that I was.
Kidding? Are you kidding? Done this whole way when I was a younger man. It's a year and a half ago. You're on probation. Now you picked up the guy. Now you got this. You're really kidding yourself. Just look. If you want me to set the bond, I'm going to set it at around $500 to $7,500. If you want to do it, do it. I'll give you time to consider. But I'm telling you, it's probably not one of the wisest ideas. In the next 2 to 3 days, you got here. You don't pony up that money, and it's very possible they any day now file that motion to revoke because they're going to let 185 know that you picked up 2 cases from the time that you've been on probation. Right? You have. You picked up a new case in Louisiana. You picked up a case here, right? While you've been on probation. That's not one of the things that you're supposed to do. So, any moment, lickety split, they're going to file a motion to revoke. And if
Actually, Your Honor, if I may, if the court does set a bond, then I'm going to ask Amy. I would be in court right now, but I'm under the weather and I don't want to risk anybody else. And so, if the court does intend to set a bond, then I'm going to send an email out to the 185th right now to see if they'll revoke the deferred.
up to you.
Talk to them about where we're
You
at.
guys talk. I don't want you to make a rash decision because you got blinders on your eye to get out. You guys are in the driver's seat. Let me know what you want to do.
Talk to 'em
Don't
about
make
where we're at, Judge.
don't make a decision right here. Take your time, think about it, and then let me know what you want.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.